So it is time for the Cowboys to make one of their most important decisions of the offseason, and it happens to be an urgent one, and it should be an obvious one. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. You and I both know just how big this offseason is for the Cowboys. They got a new coaching staff in place, and both the offense and defensive side of things are completely overhauled under the new staff made by Brian Schottenheimer. They have a long list of pending free agents that includes the likes of Rico Dowdle, Jordan Lewis, LaMarcus Lawrence, and many others. Additionally, they hold the 12th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and whatever choice they make has to be of immediate impact because the Cowboys just need to address so many needs. On top of it all, a Micah Parsons extension needs to be reached this offseason for the sake of the team, but none of that is more urgent than reaching a decision around defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa, a decision that I believe should be obvious. But first, let's get into why it's urgent. Osa Odighizuwa will be eligible for a franchise tag starting on Tuesday because Tuesday is the first day in the NFL calendar in which NFL teams are permitted to franchise tag their players. For the Cowboys, the obvious candidate is Osa because remember, the franchise tag pays you top of the market money, but it does so for only 1 year. And Odighizuwa is one of the best defensive tackles in the league right now. As such, he will be looking for a contract that pays him like that. Now, the Cowboys, with Micah Parsons' deal in mind, 1 year removed from paying Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, might not be ready to dive headfirst into a long-term contract for Osa. However, he's clearly someone that they need. So if the Cowboys don't want to let Osa Odighizuwa walk, and I believe they don't, and I'll tell you why, then the franchise tag is obviously the first step. I don't believe the Cowboys want to let Osa walk this offseason because otherwise they should have considered trading him at the trade deadline last year because by the mid-mark of the season, the Cowboys were pretty much done at that point, and you could have gotten maybe a third-round draft pick, a fourth-rounder for Osa, for a defensive tackle needy team headed for the playoffs. Now, keep in mind, a franchise tag could also be seen as only a placeholder because you can place a franchise tag between Tuesday and March 4th, and then you can negotiate a long-term contract extension through July 15th. Now, Osa is not going to settle. He's not going to go take a discount deal in Dallas. Not when he has all the leverage in the world against the Cowboys. He has that because, one, he has played like one of the best at the position in the league. And also, the Cowboys need him. They need him more than they need most players on their roster. Because if you remove Odighizuwa from the defensive line equation, there's not a lot to worry about. Other than Micah Parsons, there wouldn't be another player on that defensive line that would make offensive coordinators scared. That includes Marshawn Neiland. It includes Mazi Smith. It includes Chauncey Golston, should he be brought back. And even if you look at free agency, the names that you could replace Osa Odighizuwa with are mostly aging veterans that would go for little money, but that would provide you with concerns about health and concerns about play decline. Osa Odighizuwa just makes way too much sense for the Cowboys, especially as they shift into the Matt Eberflus defensive scheme that heavily relies on the defensive front being able to rush with only 4 men. So if I'm being honest with you, I think the Cowboys kind of back themselves into a corner here, and there's no choice other than retaining Osa Odighizuwa. And the best place to start with that is placing the franchise tag on him. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but it definitely has to happen before March 4th, and I cannot see another way for the Cowboys if they want to keep him. Otherwise, you would have a very worrying defensive line, and I'm not sure how they would make it work. So yeah, it's a big offseason for the Cowboys, but step number 1 is figuring out what they will do and how they will retain Osa Odighizuwa. And I think tomorrow is a big day for that because it will be the first day for franchise tags. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.